What is going on, everybody? It's Randy Paddock here, and you are now listening to Bull Chat with Randy Paddock, and this is episode 12. So we've done this 12 times, not to mention a couple of baby chats. So for everybody that's listening or continuing to listen, thank you very much. I was looking at the analytics of it, and it's good. I mean, we got a lot of people listening, which is awesome. It's way better than I thought it could be, and it's fun for me to do. So I'm going to keep doing it. So something you can do is if you are listening on iTunes, make sure it'd be cool if you left a comment. If it would help out a lot. Or if you left a rating, you subscribed. Obviously on YouTube, the channel as well, Bull Chat Pod. If you're watching it on there, you get to see my ugly mug. You get to see Leroy pop in and out and subscribe to that too, especially if Gmail. It's free subscription, so I don't know why you wouldn't do it. But also leave comments. Shout out to my buddy Fern. He left a comment on the 90s playlist and helped me remember Onyx Slam, which need to be done. So all the love is great, so please continue to do that, and I'm going to keep them coming out. So for number 12 today, I'm going to talk about, well, first of all, let's talk about the weather. It's Sunday. It's the end of January. It's like I try to look at my watch. It doesn't say the date, but it's like the 28th or something like that. It's the end of January. It was like 50 degrees outside today, so it was awesome. And on one point, when the weather gets like that, though, it kind of scares me as well as excites me because it's not supposed to be like that, right? So when it's happening, it gets kind of scary, but I love it. So today I went out and Rocky Balboa style, did some outdoor training, went running around the streets of Chicago, went to a park, was doing some push-ups on the benches, hit up some pull-ups on the old monkey bars on the swing set, or the playground, whatever. So that was fun. Got out there, got the lungs going. So make sure on the beautiful days when they do happen, especially winter, you get out there. Me and Leroy hit the streets as well, took a pretty long walk. So it was very fun today. And now I'm going to hit you with some of this knowledge. And the whole purpose of today's podcast is to talk about kind of like a mindset and some acts that I think it's as old as time. Like a lot of the stuff I talk about, it's not like original ideas. I'm not some genius or some guru, or I don't ever want to be like that. I just someone that regurgitates information because it doesn't ever really matter where you get information from. It just matters that you get it. And sometimes getting that information, the source, it might be stuff you've heard before, but then all of a sudden you hear it from a different source, and then the aha moment happens, and whoop, a light bulb goes out, and there you go. So that's really what I'm doing, is just kind of regurgitating information that works for me that's pretty old, and maybe some people listen to it like, oh shit, that makes sense. So what I want to talk about today was the old thought process, and it's kind of old school in the way of thinking, and that would be keep it simple. Okay, so there's a couple of acronyms we use in my line of work, and then other ones I've learned and stole from Michael Scott from The Office, and that's KISS. So KISS. So keep it short and simple. Or as Michael Scott would say, keep it simple, stupid. So I don't think there's a wrong answer for either of them. I think that they both make sense. And I kind of highlighted a few ways in your life or in my life or in anyone's life that we can keep it simple that ultimately I think will help us get to the higher plane of living and happiness, which I'm thinking everyone's trying to go after. It'll make us better people, which in turn makes us better in our community, makes us better in our job, our family, our relationships, our friendships, our leadership, this, that, and the other. So nerding out to the notes, what I wrote down. So first and foremost is I think just keeping it short and simple and keeping it simple, stupid, it's a great way to live life in all aspects. I'm going to kind of break down each aspect that I did go over, but especially in this day and age, there's so much going on. There's so much content out there everywhere. You want to know how simple and how much content there is, sit down and talk with a family member or a friend or something about what Netflix show they're watching. There's a good chance you haven't even, and this is a stupid example, whatever, but there's a good chance you haven't even seen some of those. There's so much content just on Netflix, right? And that's a simple form of entertainment. I was drinking beers, my month's over, so I had some beers with my buddy Zach yesterday, and he was showing me shit on Spotify, how to get all this other content that I didn't even know existed. So just in forms of entertainment, there's so much content out there. But now, with the internet, if you're listening to me, right, I'm just some jabroni with a mic putting out a podcast like a million other people. So there's so much content in that. There's so much information out there, different news sources, online articles, different types of media. You don't know what's real, you don't know what's fake, you don't know what's up, down, left, right, day, night, yin, yang. I don't know what the fuck is going on. There's just so much content. So and a lot of shit going on. So like I think going back to simplifying it and focusing on the now, what's important, and keeping it simple is prevalent now more than ever, because that's the flip side of technology, right? It's awesome. Progress is kick ass, but also it can lead to an overload. And then people don't know what the hell is going on. And then you can kind of create your own sort of realities, because what you see is what you believe and what you think. And then who the hell knows what's going on? So, when in doubt, keep it simple. Okay? So, here are some ways. And again, don't quote me on this shit, and you don't have to listen to me because I'm not an expert. This is just my 2 cents. If you like it, put it in your pocket. If not, throw it in the wishing well, all right? So, relationships. And this is kind of a funny one for me, because if you know me, I'm not a relationship guy in terms of I don't really have girlfriends all that much. Not because I don't like them, I just don't care to have them. So maybe I don't, but this is like relationships, I think, with family, with who you're attracted to or who you want to date, or with your friends. So I think the first way to keep it very simple is like, if you like being around somebody, you should be around them. And it's like no shit, but a lot of people don't. Like I've been in that camp, and that's why, like I said, I was just hanging out with my buddy Zach, who's one of my best friends on the planet yesterday, and who I have such a great time with all the time. If it's just shooting the shit, doing whatever. And last time we hung out, we figured out was like over a year ago. That's like fucking crazy. It actually made me feel really bad and like a shitty friend, because I'm like, what do you mean I haven't seen you in over a year? And yeah, it does take two to tango, but like he's got a family and stuff going on. I don't. Like it's a lot easier for me to figure that out. So like it's not as easy said as done. That's a good example of someone I like being around that I'm not around a lot, right? And I was thinking about that with a lot of my friends. Yes, all my friends are busy. I'm the anomaly. I'm the weirdo that's 33 that doesn't have a steady girlfriend, fiance, wife, family, whatever, whatever. But still, like, I can get around these guys if I wanted to. So, like, it's hard. You fall in your own selfish kind of trap. Or, again, there's so much we quote unquote, or not quote unquote, I mean, that's going on, or that we think is going on, that sometimes the simplest thing of, I like being around this person. It's fun. It makes me feel good. You don't do it. And then next thing you know, just time keeps on ticking, ticking, ticking into the future. That's Steve Miller. And you don't know what the fuck is going on. So think about that. Just think about some of your great friends that you haven't seen in a long time. Like, holy shit, right? Same thing with relationships. Sometimes we give a fuck too much about what our friends would think or our family would think about the person we potentially want to date, or what are the rules, or what's their social class, or where do they live, or what might society think. And then we kind of put the number one thing I think about a relationship, which is liking time, like spending time with that person and like being around them, that we don't do it. Because we're always figuring out why we shouldn't. Oh, they're a different religion. Oh, they're a different race. Oh, they're from a different socioeconomic class. Oh, my friends won't like them. Oh, their friends won't like. We think about all this stuff and cloud it up so much that the simplicity of just being around someone and feeling good on the inside goes out the window. So try it with anybody. If there's parts members of your family you don't like, don't be around them. If there's members of family you really like, be around them more. Just because they're your family doesn't mean you like being around them, right? So I think it's like a simple thing to try to live, with your relationships. Communicate, right? Like communicating with people more. Like picking up and calling them on the phone as opposed to a text. Having that human interaction. Like that as human beings is what we like, and especially around people that we love and care about. You know what I mean? Like giving Zach that hug was awesome, because that I need that. That's the good mojo, the good vibe, the good energy. And we got to talking about life, and it's funny because I got a lot of stuff off my chest that I haven't been able to, and it felt great. So doing that with your buddies. So I'm having intent now. Like if I want to spend time with someone, I'm going to let them know. I'm going to communicate that. I'm going to be very transparent. I'm just transparent with people now. Like why not? You don't have to put on an act. You don't have to put on a front, especially with people that you like spending time with. Even if it's someone new, some little girl you just met on Tinder or some shit, if you like spending time with them and you guys hit it off, be transparent about what you want, what you're looking for with people. Communicate, and things are going to go a lot better. And then prioritize, right? If people that you like spending time with or you feel good about, like make the time. And I think that's part of the simple thought process. If it's something is important to you, you will make the time to do it. We have 24 hours in a day. There's a lot of time. But when we don't prioritize, or if something isn't that important to us, that's when all the excuses could come in about, oh, I have to do this, or I have to do that, or I have to do the other, or there's not time. A lot of the times I was making those excuses in my head and I wasn't doing shit. I for sure wasn't doing anything productive, and that was just me thinking too much and overthinking, not keeping it simple and being selfish, and that's not good for relationships. So I think maybe give it a try in all your relationships. Keep it simple. Go with a feeling. Wow, I like hanging out with you. I'm going to do that more. Who the fuck knows? Might work out. All right. Next, I want to talk about health, because this is a big one. You know, it's where everyone's got an opinion, and again, I'm one of those assholes. So again, don't whatever. But like, what you should do, what your diet should be, what your wellness should be, what your living should be, what your working out regimen should be, what this, that, and the other. Again, it doesn't matter, right? Keep it simple. A lot of shit's just marketing tools anyways, or getting people doing anything. So do what's right for you and keep it simple. So when it comes to diet, keep it simple. Use common sense, right? Unfortunately, I think our food pyramid's a little bit fucked up, and that's just through commercialization, and big business and things of that nature. But like, you know what's good for you, you know what's bad for you, and you know not to eat it in excess. So keep it simple. Here's a simple diet plan. Again, there's so many fads. The South Beach diet, the Atkins diet, the fucking juice cycles, the cleanses. Eat this pill, eat that pill, fast, don't, whatever. It doesn't matter. We're all made up differently, so even something that works for me might not work for you, and something that works for you might not work for me. We all have different body types, we all have different genetics, and we all process our energy and our food different, and we have different metabolisms, and we're going to take foods differently. So it doesn't fucking matter, okay? Here's what you do. You do what works for you. Just be, like, here's some simple rules for diet if you have no clue. Like, don't eat a shit ton of bad carbohydrates. That's just a good rule of thumb, right? And there's always the war going on. Oh, you gotta go keto, you gotta go paleo, no carbs, low carb, or fucking all carbs. That's how my body runs. It's just not good to eat a lot of carbohydrates, right? Of bad carbs. So this is as simple as I keep it. I don't eat much of them. On days I work out, I eat a little bit more. It's simple, right? Not like don't eat sugar. Sugar is not good for you, right? I just had a fucking a Snickers, the ice cream Snickers. My sister had them at her house. God bless her soul. Those might be my favorite. My favorite like candy or ice cream or whatever. If you haven't had a frozen Snickers bar, like the ice cream one, do it. It's so good. But like, I ate it. It was great, but it's not good for me. I knew it wasn't good for me. Again, one thing's not going to kill me, but it's not good for you, right? Eating all of that shit, eating all the candy, eating all the, the sugary things that taste good, the sugary drinks, the soda, popping sugar stuff, it's not good for you. It's going to turn fat. All right? It's going to fuck with things that are important to your health. So just don't eat a lot of it. It isn't that hard. Right? So again, you don't have to cut it out 100%. I mean, I would at least get as close as I would, but because there's so many people that are pre-diabetic or getting diabetes now or obesity, that leads to that. Right? It just tastes so fucking good. But all you gotta do is have some willpower. Just don't do it. Don't eat a goddamn cookie. Don't eat a donut. It isn't that hard. Right? But they brought it into the office. It was there. Great. Who gives a fuck? No one had a gun to your head and said eat it. Right? So do that. Drink water, right? Our body's made up of a lot of water. It helps with moving our joints around, our vital organs, everything moving. So drink water, right? There's a good substitution. Instead of having a Pepsi, drink water. It isn't that hard. Yeah, it doesn't taste good. It's a badass Coke from McDonald's. McDonald's has the best Coke because they got like that good sugar in it, right? So just drink water. Give that a try. Like substituting little things. Instead of getting French fries, like, I don't know, don't. Try it. See what happens, right? Instead of getting dessert at the restaurant, don't. Or if that's too fucking crazy, split it with somebody. Just don't eat the whole goddamn thing. So those are just some simple tips on diet, like keep it simple. I'm not one of those guys, I don't measure stuff or do whatever. I experiment with different things, and depending on how I feel, that's what I go with. So I suggest you do the same thing. Try different things, and if you feel good, continue to do that, right? So with working out, this is as simple as you can keep it. Just do it. Just do something. It doesn't matter. Again, working out is fitness is another one of those things like diet. Everyone's got 2 cents. What's the best way? Oh, you gotta do CrossFit. No, you gotta do Soul Cycle. No, you gotta power lift. No, you just gotta walk. No, you gotta do the elliptical. No, you gotta do whatever, whatever. I don't. Again, you figure out what your goal is and what do you want out of your fitness, and then just make sure that you do something, something every day. Every day, do something. Your body needs to stay in motion. We're given these awesome bodies that were meant to like fight off Tyrannosaurus rexes and woolly mammoths and all kinds of shit back in the cave days. So if we're just sitting there not using them or doing it, we're slapping Creator in the face saying, "Thanks for giving me this fucking tool. Fuck off." That's lame. Don't do that. So do something every day. Fitness relies, right? Figure out your goal. Be consistent. That's the key. How do you make progress in anything and changing your habits, changing your life, changing your body, changing your wealth, changing anything is consistency. It's doing something every day, time after time after time after time, and it compounds and it compounds and it goes and it goes. That's how you get stronger. Right? Check your ego at the door. Right? If you want to I want to make a fucking monster bench press. If you can bench press the bar with nothing on it, do that. Don't go in there and put 225 pounds on. Try to do it. You're just going to injure yourself and look like an asshole because your ego says you need to. Who gives a fuck? It's your body. It's your strength. You want that technique. You want it to grow. You want to be the little piggy that builds their house out of bricks. That piggy's safe when the big bad wolf comes because that big bad wolf always comes. And then all your homies are hanging out in there too, your bros. All right? So consistency. And then if you're feeling a little sore, a little injured, that happens, just do what you can. If your shoulder's fucked up, go for a walk. Go for a run. Go for a jog. If your knee's hurting, do some push-ups. Do some pull-ups. Right? If your body's hurting all over, get a lacrosse ball, go to Mobility WOD and do some mobility stuff. Right? If you're crunched for time and you got to go or you had a day of work and you got a hot date coming up but you want to get it in, bust out 100 burpees on the floor real quick. And that's the thing people say, you don't need a gym pass. You don't need to go to fancy Lifetime Fitness with the sauna, the pool, and the fucking climbing wall. Put a towel on the ground, do burpees, do push-ups, get a goddamn pull-up bar, go to Home Depot, get a pipe, right? There's this shit outside. It's called the ground. You can run on it, right? Get some sneakers. Go running. So there's no excuse. The excuse is you're lazy. And that's fine if you want to be lazy, but you can't bitch about things if you start to have health problems or you're not where you want to be or you don't have any self-confidence. That all stems from it. You want to get confident, make yourself better. That's where confidence comes. In doing things, get out of your comfort zone, progress, seeing results, that's where confidence comes from. So just give it a try. Be consistent, do what you can, but do something and do it every day. All right, then it goes into like, with wrapping that up is like supplements. What should I take? What should I do? There's so many supplement companies out there now trying to push this, that, and the other down your throat. I don't know what works. I don't know what doesn't. I don't know what you should take. Again, keep it simple. Eat food. Like that's the best supplement. The best supplement is getting the nutrients from food, right? What do you think's better? Eating a fucking steak or something filled with protein or like a protein powder mixed with other stuff in water? Like the real food is going to get you there. That's the best supplement is eating real food, right? So in terms of supplements, I really don't take that much. I don't, and it kind of depends. Sometimes what I'm looking to do, I'll change it up. So sometimes I'll have creatine, sometimes I won't. I don't really do that many. I do sometimes an active recovery protein with things in it after I work out. But other than that, I don't really do that much. I do fish oil, because I want to get them joints right. I'm getting older, my joints hurt, right? So I want to do that. But I don't do a pre-workout. A lot of people do. A lot of people like it. I don't think it's bad. I don't like getting jittery. I drink some coffee a little bit beforehand, and that's my pre-workout. Some people are stacking this, that, the other. Man, fucking do it. Go after it. But like, see, is it working, right? Or am I buying this because someone's telling me to buy it, or should I And again, if I'm taking it a lot and it's not working, why do I keep spending my money? But a good rule of thumb to keep it simple is nothing is a better supplement than real food. That's what's going to make you grow, get bigger, be healthier in your mind too. It's going to clear your mind. If you're filling your body with junk and supplements, like you're going to be a little foggy in the brain as well. Whereas if you're eating clean, you're drinking water, your brain's going to be firing on more cylinders as well. And I think everybody wants to be a bit smarter, right? What's the big things we're all self-conscious about? We want to be. We want to be good looking and attractive and in shape. We want to be smart, right? Well, eating real good food and drinking water and things like that, that's killing two birds with one rock, right? You're looking better, you're feeling better, and your head's clear, so you're smarter. You couple that with some exercise, hey, now you're finding a wife or a husband or whatever the fuck you're looking for. So something to think about, keeping it simple that way. Lifestyle, right? And this is like the hard one, right? Like keeping it simple in lifestyle. We do not need much. And I've really figured this out because I've gone both ways. You know, there was a point in time where I was very into lifestyle and having all this cool shit. I needed X amount of suits. I needed the biggest, baddest ass TV with the surround sound. I needed fucking to live here. I needed this. I needed that and the other. And everyone I think falls into that at the end. And then you know you couple social media with that, and so there's people that you idolize or people that you relate with, and they're showing all the cool shit they have. And like, fuck, that'd be cool. I want that. I don't know, man. You don't need it. You could want it. You don't need it. And I think we get that confused sometimes. Our wants and our needs. I need this. I need this. I need. You don't need that shit. You know what you need? You need to fucking breathe. Right? You need to be able to consume food. You need to be able to consume water. It'd be good if you weren't running around naked unless you're packing, you know, and you want to show everyone what's up, but then you see kids and then you're a fucking creep. So you need some goddamn clothes. A shelter, nice. You don't need it, right? You can sleep in your car. You don't have a car. You can sleep outside. It sucks, but you're not dead, right? So that's what we need. We don't need PlayStation 27, right? You don't need the cable package with 500 fucking channels. Here's something I just did. I just cut my cable. Right? I was like thinking, I'm like, man, I'm just watching too much TV. I need to cut the cable out. So I cut it out. All right. So I went for a couple of weeks with no cable, just the internet. It was great. I have Netflix, so I'm not going full barbarian. Right. So I was watching that, but it like freedom. I was getting more shit done. And then what else I was doing too is I was reading more. So back to being great, you know, humans. I was smarter. I was filling my brain with more information, more knowledge, which was making me better. But also I picked up a book for fiction. I haven't read a fiction book in I don't know how long. I forgot, and again, this is going to be nerdy of me, but it's true, I think. I forgot how cool reading a fiction book could be. Because I'm making things happen in my mind, and the storyline's going across, and it was exciting and fun, or not was, is. So I've been reading a lot more, you know, and then I'm like, all right, cool, I got to watch sports, right? I don't have to. I'd like to. So my dad hooked me up with one of those antennas that he had laying around the house, and it's been awesome, right? Like I could watch sports, but then I get all these like random ass channels, like 11.2. I watched this thing about like the Galapagos Islands the other day. That was awesome. Blew my mind on one of the weird channel 11s. And then there's always like funny ass movies on these like random buttons. It's great. It's funky little adventure. So, you know, you don't need that stuff. It's minimal with that, right? I was looking at just like all this stuff, and it's like, and I kind of kicked my own ass about all these things I wasted money on, and I'm like, fuck, you know, there's nothing you can do about the past, but I'm like, all this stuff, it's funny that I thought I needed, and I'm like, man, if I could have that back and just maybe put it towards an experience, right? You know, as I get older, I'm thinking about what makes me happier, and it's like simple living and experiences, right? And again, I drive a fucking Malibu, and then I'm fine with it, it works, it looks nice, I like it. It don't break on me, right? So if someone comes up to me and is like, dude, why don't you drive an Audi? Like, you'd be better. Then, like, what are your priorities anyways, bro? Right? My apartment, it's just me and Leroy. I live in a small one-bedroom apartment, right? I don't need a fucking house on 17 acres right now so my neighbors and everyone on social media thinks I'm a badass, right? So, like, kind of cutting it down. Like, I got this watch on right here. I bought it for like $12 at Walmart. This shirt was $6 or $5 or something at Old Navy, right? This hat was like $10. The beard and the mug for free, you know, from the heavens. So like this shit mic I use, I think it works. I try to get a little closer so I get a better sound quality, but I'm building up my podcast, right? I'm not putting dough into the good stuff yet. We got to make it happen. So I use this fucking $6 microphone that I got on Rock Band, a program that like came with my computer that I bought like 7 years ago, right? So thinking about that, like what you need, right? And think about like just like clothes you wear, like how simple it is. I know you want nice clothes, and again, if you like nice clothes, get it. But think of like just trends that people want. I remember those fucking jeans, True Religion. Those were like $150 jeans for dudes that were like bedazzled with big like crosses and eagles on the ass. Like if you see someone in that shit now, you're like, what the fuck is wrong with you, right? But people are dishing out hundreds and hundreds of dollars with that, right? These Sneakerheads, right? Again, if that's your thing, that's cool. I should never tell them to spend their money, but holy fuck. Like, it's wild just the stuff that, like, we have to have. I gotta have this name brand. I gotta have this name brand. I gotta have this. You don't. Don't fall into the consumer trap, man. Like, you don't need that shit. Keep it simple, right? There's a shirt. It covers you. Awesome, right? And I think, like, I think people are getting onto it more. I think kind of like a minimalist society or things are coming back. But again, there's so many fucking labels. I don't like that shit anyways. You're a minimalist. You're a hipster. You're a throwback. You're a this. You're a that. Fuck off. Like, can't everyone just live? If I hear that shit more time, my sister busts my balls about it all the time. But like, you look like a hipster. You look like this. You look like that. I don't know. I like having a beard because I'm bald. So having a beard's sweet, right? Twisting it up's fun. Like, I like drinking PBRs because I've been drinking them since I've been a kid. And I like Chuck Taylors, which I've been wearing since I'm a kid too. So I'm not some label of a thing, right? But that's how it's again goes back to tribes and you're this, you're that, you're the other. Well, I'm a minimalist. Well, I'm a vegan. Well, I'm just shut the fuck up. Keep it simple. You're a human. I'm a human. We're on the same planet. Don't give a shit what I'm doing. I don't give a shit what you're doing. Stay in your lane. If we see each other, let's high five and smile and keep it moving, right? So, a little something about lifestyle, right? And then free time. Okay, so I think, keeping it simple in your free time. What makes you, I'm rereading the 4 Hour Work Week by Tim Ferriss, which is an awesome book. He puts out a lot of awesome material, and a lot of his books are great. But this one, he goes back to talking about like happiness and synonyms for happiness, and the opposite of, in the way he puts it in the book, is the opposite of happiness isn't sadness, it's boredom, right? And so happiness is a kind of a synonym for excitement. So I think that's really true, is because when we're quote unquote unhappy or whatever, it's because we're bored with whatever we're doing. Like, it doesn't get us excited. We're bored. It happens in relationships. It happens in hobbies. It happens in all these things that we do. If we're bored, we're not happy because it's not exciting. So in your free time, do what excites you, whatever it is. Don't do what you're supposed to do. Do what excites you, right? Like, I get excited and happy doing this podcast. It's fun for me. If people listen to it or not, I mean, that's cool if they do, and if we can grow and keep going to happen, that would be sweet. But I'm gonna do it anyway, right? And if people don't like it, I don't give a fuck either. It makes me happy. It makes me excited. I look forward to doing it, so I'm gonna do it in my free time, right? So if you like to paint or do art, do that in your free time. It gets you excited. If someone says, yeah, but you should be doing this, that, and the other, who gives a shit? Don't do it if it doesn't make you excited. You should never do things just because you think you're supposed to. It's like when you're a kid, right? Like, if or at least back in my day, you got put in like every sport, like that's what you did, and there was some you didn't like, and sometimes your parents made you stay in it because you made a commitment, quote unquote, and they want to teach you a lesson, or sometimes they already paid for it and they wanted to keep you in there or whatever. But like, you sucked at that sport because you weren't happy and excited to be there, right? Anytime you have to go through the motions of anything because you're supposed to, it's not going to be fulfilling. It's not going to be fun. So if I have free time, if a majority of us, we bust our ass, we work hard, right? And that's what we do. So in our free time, it's special. So why not do something special? Do something that's going to excite you, whatever it is. If it's, working out, if it's creating something, if it's building something, if it's I don't know, doing makeup, if it's creating clothes, if it's doing a business, if it's doing a podcast, if it's playing with your doggy, whatever it is, do what excites you. Don't waste your free time just hanging out. And don't say this bullshit, but like watching Netflix excites me. There's more out there. So, again, I don't want to cut people off from, like going cold turkey, but if that excites you, do that, and then try going out in the real world and maybe talking to someone about it too and having some interaction so you don't become a complete hermit, right? But do what excites you. That's happiness. When I feel happy, it's because I'm excited. So think about that next time you're happy. You're doing something that excites you. So continue to do things that excite you. Next time you're not so happy, think, wow, am I just really bummed out or am I kind of bored? And if you're bored, you might want to change up what you're doing. So I think that's kind of something about free time. And just a couple like random thoughts I had written down here. So here's a simple way to live, and it's so hard. It is so simple, yet it's so hard because there's so much, again, content thrown at us. But don't compare yourself to other people, And again, it's very hard to do because there's social media out there. So you're seeing remember, when people are putting stuff out on social media, they're putting out what they want you to think. Right? People put out, oh, check out this cool vacation I'm on. Check out my dope ass car. Check out this, that, and the other. They don't put out, my cable just got cut. My lights are off. I just took out another loan and I'm more in debt. Like, they don't put that stuff out there. Right? Ah, me and my wife are having problems. They don't put that out there. Right? Because why would you? Right? It's making you vulnerable and making you, seem weak, right? Or not together because we're thinking, what do other people think of us? What are they going to think? I have this ego, I have to save face, but who gives a shit? So remember that when you're comparing yourself to other people, especially on social media, you're not comparing yourself. If you're probably taking your real situation with your struggles and your hardships that are going on at the moment, and you're comparing yourself to a fake something else that someone else is doing, or to a what they want to publicize version of their life. So it's not even a fair comparison. You know what I mean? So that's something to think about. Also, like, everyone's going through different struggles at all times, right? So if someone looks happy or whatever in the exterior, you don't know what the hell's going on. That's why it kind of goes into the next point of mine, is like the golden rule. You never know what someone else is going through, so treat other people how you'd want to be treated, right, in the world. Be empathetic, like it's a simple thing to live by. I would love people to be nice to me, so you know what? I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to be nice to people. It was great. I was walking the streets the other day, and I saw this girl, and like, I looked at her, and she looked at me while we were walking, like, and she said, "Hey, what's up?" And I'm like, "What's up?" And we kept walking. That's great. That's like a normal human interaction that's okay to have every day, right? I like to let people in on traffic because I like to be let in on traffic, right? If someone cuts me off or does something stupid, I don't honk and give them the double finger fuck you, because I don't know what they're going through, right? And I want to know, if I was going through something, maybe, God forbid, something was happening, I had to hurry somewhere, and if I accidentally did that without thinking, I don't want someone ruining their day, pissed off, trying to road rage kill me, right? I'll hold the door for somebody, right? If I'm doing something, I'm going to, Leroy, come here, hey! Sorry, he's getting a little excited. If I'm out somewhere and someone's serving me a drink, serving me food, I'm going to tip them because they're doing a service. Anyone that's doing a service for me, I'm going to tip them, right? Like, I'm going to say hello to people. People I love, I'm going to tell them I love them. I'm going to care about. Like, it's a simple way to live. However you'd want to be treated or you want it done to you, just put it out there. If you want to call it the golden rule, if you want to call it the law of attraction, if you want to call it the universe, whatever it is, there's different ways to say it. It's all the same shit, and it's the simplest way. Don't be a fuck. Right? We're all part of the human race, and we're all on this rock together, so let's make it fun. Right? So don't compare yourself to other people, and don't treat people differently. We're all the same. And you might be like, we're not all the same. I don't know. I think we are. Right? The minute you start thinking you're better than someone or you're different for someone, you're going to start having problems. So food for thought on that aspect as well. Also, here's a simple way to live. If you feel it, do it. Right? Like, I'm beating the dead horse on this, but that's what the podcast is about, is keeping it simple. Is you are on the planet one time. All right? Spoiler alert, you're going to die. Right? Sadder spoiler alert, so am I. Right? We all are. So why would we not do all these things that we want to do, or not experience the things we want to experience because we're scared, or because it's not comfortable, or because we're not supposed to? Fuck that. If you feel something, do it. If I want to talk to that girl, I should talk to her. If I want to do this job, I should do that job. If I want to eat that, I'm going to eat that. If I want to buy that puppy, I'm going to buy that puppy. Whatever. Again, you should think through things and not just go off the cuff with everything and be responsible. But also, don't be a bitch, right? Don't be scared. Don't be scared to live, right? Don't be afraid of that. Like, if you're feeling a certain way about something, especially you couple out with excitement and happiness, do it. What's going to happen? Nothing's that big of a deal. No failure's that big of a deal, or that catastrophic that can't be fixed. As long as you're breathing, you can do anything. It's not too late. It never is. So even if you just destroy something, if you're alive, you could fix it. And you know better. You're wiser. You're stronger, right? So I think that's something to think about. If you're feeling it, just do it. Try new things. We always overthink stuff. A lot of the times, what do they say? That old adage, right? It's like the first, on a journey of 1,000 miles, starts with the first step, or the toughest part of a journey is the first step. Whatever it is, that's true stuff. We overthink. We put things in our brain so much about worst case scenarios. What could happen? What could happen? What could happen? That we freeze up and we don't do anything, and we stay doing the same shit. And we're unhappy, not excited. When knowing that maybe taking that step, it's not that hard. Right? Or, oh, that's not that scary. Or, wow, that crazy shit I thought was going to happen didn't happen. But you don't know if you don't try. And if you don't try, you're going to have regrets. Right? So why have regrets? Why not try? What's the worst that's going to happen? Don't put yourself in any harmful situation. Don't fuck with other people. But if you want to be like, you know what? I'm going to pick up a guitar and I'm going to get after it. Do that. Try, you know what? I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to try doing some new stuff. Do it. Don't be afraid to look funny to other people. Who gives a fuck? Again, we think about that too. Oh, what, these people are going to laugh. These people, whatever. Who gives a shit? Right? I got a curly Q mustache because I like it. People probably see me like, you're an asshole. I'm great. High five. I don't think I am. I think I'm pretty sweet. Right? I'm going to keep doing it because I like it. Right? If I feel that I like my Walmart watch, I'm going to wear it. And if someone's like, why are you wearing a Walmart watch, you asshole? I'm like, I don't know. I like it. It tells time. It's simple. Okay? So just treat other people how you want to be treated. If you feel it, go for it. More isn't always better. And I think that we, especially kind of in America here, we're a big consumer society. We're a bunch of fat bastards, right? We always think more is better. But it's not. Literally, sometimes it's killing us, right? Now it's a supersize. The Coca-Cola is 89 ounces, right? That's more. That is not better, right? An extra, extra large fry, that's more. That is not better, right? So more doesn't always mean better. I would think of quality as opposed to quantity of things. And especially with like experiences and where you're spending your time and what you're doing and keeping it simple. It's okay to say no to stuff. You do not have to do everything. That's how people get quote unquote run down or burned out, is because they're doing more. Oh, I gotta do this, I gotta do this, I gotta do this, I gotta do this. Don't get me wrong. I think you should do a lot of stuff, especially if it makes you happy and things need to be done and you should get after it. But it's okay to say no to some stuff. Right? You don't need to do this. I don't need to do this. Just because there's more does not mean it's better. Keep it simple. Prioritize. Think things through. What's going to be the better use of my time? Do I need to add this on? If I do, great, I can. If not, great, I can't. It does not matter. Keep it simple. If you feel it, do it. If you want to be nice and be treated nice, be nice to people. What do I need as opposed to what do I want? Right? And again, when you keep it simple, it's a lot. You're able to free your mind a little bit more. It gets rid of some of that clutter. You stop worrying about shit that does not matter. Right? Now it doesn't matter what the guy next to you is driving. If you're happy in your Prius, be happy in your Prius. The guy next to you's got like you're a fucking jabroni. Who cares? You love it. Right? If you're happy with your Walmart jeans, wear your Walmart jeans. Right? If you're happy dating the person that society thinks you shouldn't date them anyway. If you got a crazy idea to start a business or to start a podcast or to start, a new hobby or to go after it, do it. Keep it simple. If you're excited, go. Right? What do I really need? Is this a need or a want? Ask yourself that question. If it's a need, do it. If it's a want, rethink it. Really think, am I really going to want this down the road? Because I'll tell you this, a lot of shit I've accumulated in my life that I wanted, that I thought was a need that I wanted, I don't have anymore. Or it doesn't fucking matter anymore. And some of the stuff I see just pisses me off. So, ask yourself that question. I think it's a good way to live. But when you're out there, man, keep it simple. Alright? So thanks very much for, listening. Keep listening, keep subscribing, follow me on the social media, see what I'm up to, see what Leroy's up to, and we'll keep it going. So until next time, we're going to put this one in the books. Hopefully everyone had a good one. Keep it real now.